You know, every single day I rethink about why I got a literally not a Bluetooth mouse, but I just realized that I can take this out of its stand. And look at it. It's so cute. Welcome back to my book channel. My name is Daniela Thapa, and welcome back to my book channel. Right, so I have literally over 100 books in my home library. Here's a pic of it, right? Pretty messy. I tried to organize it like during the summer, but I gave up, so my books are everywhere now. So right now, this is currently the only physical book I am reading. I have like 2 chapters left of this book. I lost my page, but I know I'm near the end. So I'm gonna finish that today, and then I'll be starting like 5 new books today, and my plan is finishing those 5 books by the end of before next Saturday. I know it's a big leap, but I literally have not been reading at all since like July or August. So let's do this properly. I just finished The Catcher in the Rye, and I'll tell you what it's about. The main character's name is Holden Caulfield, I think. Every time I read his name, I felt like I was reading Holden Cauliflower, but it's not. I think this book was like $2, but all the books that I like getting are either free in the middle of a series by some unknown author or worth less than $5, literally. I don't know, I just had a tangent about where I got that book. The main character goes to the school called Peensy, right? And he basically flunks out of every single subject except for English, which such a girl boss. The thing is, the subjects that I don't really need, I think I've talked about this before, the subjects in school that I don't plan on having a future with are my highest subjects. Like math and science, those are like, I'm more interested in learning about those things than like social studies and ELA, even though, you know, like my dream career involves ELA and social studies. But anyway, he basically flunks. I think it was a golf team, some sports team that he was in. He left the things that they needed someplace, and his whole team was like mad at him. He visited this guy named Spencer, I think, some old guy, and it was like his history teacher, I think. And his history teacher was like old, and he like read this letter. It was kind of funny. The main character was extremely funny. Near the end of the book, he was like so sick, and he was like, I'm just gonna tell you, I just had diarrhea. And it was so it was really funny. He has like this roommate who's like kind of extremely confident, and then the person who lives in the room beside him is like jealous of that roommate too. None of this correlates really. And then his childhood friend named Jane was on a date out with his roommate as well. He leaves his school, right? And this is like just before Christmas vacation, so it's kind of cold, I'm assuming. But this takes place in America, I think. So then he goes out into the night. He goes to like these random bars and places, and he's like 17, 16. He's really young, and he tries to get alcohol, but like it doesn't work. And he was dancing with like these 3 women. He's also like 6'1" or something, by the way. Like when I first read this book, I imagined him as like 5'9" maximum, but he's literally 6'1". 6'1" is very tall, by the way. It's pretty tall. It's not part of the average range. He didn't like the women, and then he called like 4 different people to hang out and all that, all in the span of one night. He's the second oldest, I think. He has this older brother named JD or DB. I don't know, older brother who goes by initials, and he's like a Hollywood writer for like movies. And then he's like the second oldest, I think, and then he had a younger brother named Ali who died of leukemia. I actually totally forgot the reason of his death, so I had to search it up, but yeah, I knew that he died. And then he has a younger sister named Phoebe who's in like grade school. So he visits Phoebe, who's sleeping in the oldest brother's room, and they have like a talk and all that, and his parents come home, and she gives him his Christmas money and all that, and then he goes to this couple's house. Their names are like Mr. and Mrs. Antoli or something. I'll just call him Mr. and Mrs. A. So Mr. A gives him like this whole speech, gives him some advice and stuff like that, and then he goes to bed, and then he wakes up, and Mr. A is patting and caressing his head, and he obviously gets up, puts on his pants, and he's like, I've actually seen so many perverts, all that talk, and then he like walks out. He was like regretting it later because he was out and he was like almost cold, and he has literally not slept in like 3 days. He's so delusional, to be honest. Like, most of this book is filled with him just being in his head and being delusional. And it's so funny because me too. Then he meets his younger sister again and he basically gives her money back and all that fun stuff. She goes on this carousel like twice and then he starts crying because he's so happy. It starts raining and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Definitely a 4-star read, not a 5-star, because sometimes I'd be rereading a page because I'd be like, what is this guy talking about? Because sometimes his delusion was like getting to me. But I do recommend reading The Catcher in the Rye. I'm gonna try to read Normal People for 30 minutes, and actually no, not for 30 minutes. Let's try an hour, and then let's see if I can read it. I tried to read this last year, and there's no quotations, and I really did not like that. So I'm gonna try again. Hopefully I'll be okay. And yeah. It's currently 12:44, and this is how thick I am in the book already. Like, I've already indented it. Look, I'm on page 96. I'm probably gonna finish it tomorrow because it's that good. But my opinions on this book. Number one, she's so girl boss for literally dropping out of school in April and having a glow up when she goes to college. Yeah, I really like how nicely paced this book is. How Sally Rooney literally uses like 200 words to describe an entire scene, and I'm fine with it. I am in April 2012 right now. That's where I am. It's so good. It's sitting at the moment sitting at a 3-star. Yeah, it'll hit a 4-star probably by the end. If I end up crying, I will hit a 5-star. I haven't cried yet, maybe because of how fast she moves around in the book, but yeah, I know, 3-4-star, probably not 5-star, but yeah. Okay, so these are the 4 other books that I'm planning on reading this week as well. Might as well just finish all of them. So we have The Devil's Dice. This is part of a series. It's a thriller. The text is incredibly tiny. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know what this is about. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I also have the audiobook of this, so I might switch on that. And this is also a really big book. I mean, it's not that big, but it's long. Then we have this book. I just need to finish it, you know. I know she leaves. Like, I got a spoiler on TikTok, but then we have this book as well. Queen, Jane Austen, the Queen. But it's formatted like every other book, if you know what I mean. I also have stuff on my Kobo that I might discuss. I started reading Shadow Me, which is one of the novellas, and I'm also reading this book called Before We Were Strangers, and I'm reading Terms and Conditions as well. Okay, yeah. Okay, my hair is oiled. You know, my goal is to finish Normal People, right? I'm on page 114 right now. Spoilers, Connell just found out Connell told Marianne that he wants to meet new people, and they're seeing each other in a grocery store with Lorraine, which is Connell's mom. So I'm gonna finish Normal People, and then I'm gonna wash my hair because I have it oiled and I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I totally forgot. So yeah, I only have like 170 pages left about, so we're gonna finish this today. Okay, I'm at the part where Connell, moves out of his, like, house with this guy named Niall, and I found out both sides of the story. So, Marianne's side, all we found out was that he broke things off with her and moved back home. His side, actually, he couldn't afford to live there, and he was planning on asking Marianne to live with her, but obviously, he doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to, like, take money from her, even though, you know, he kind of needs to do that if he wants to be with her. And the conversation was literally so dead. Like, the one thing I hate about this book is that I don't even know what the other character is thinking when I'm only, well, actually, no, that's a good thing. The good thing about this book is that I don't know what the other character is thinking when I'm in the third person perspective, where it's like first person, but it's it's like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like third person, but you only know what's happening through the perspective of one character. In Connell's mind, he can't afford it and he wants to live with her, and he tells her about it, and she's like, oh, so that means you're gonna go home, right? And he agrees to it, even though he didn't want to go home first of all, because he's gonna be gone for 3 months. And he was like, maybe you want to see other people, and she was like, sure. Like, sometimes when I'm reading this book, I wonder if these characters have actual personality. Then he leaves, he cries, and then all of a sudden she's going out with another dude named Jamie. But so far, I've read like 20 pages. Okay, welcome back. I am so close to finishing Normal People. I have literally 40 pages left. Yeah, about 40. So I'm gonna finish it now, and then I'll give you a little review at the end about how I truly feel about this book. I'm currently listening to my Gym Crush playlist. My Spotify is in the description below. Do you guys want to see what I listen to? I listen to like pretty good songs, I'd say, but sometimes I listen to the same 4 songs and then I go back to those 4 songs 4 months later, and then it's just a repeating cycle, I guess. Listen to this song, Let You Break My Heart Again. Okay, I just finished Normal People. Guys, why is the girl literally, I know she has problems because she has trauma and all that. I was talking to my sister about it, and I said that she had no personality, and my sister said she's just trauma bonded and all that. But I was like, why does she not like have like a restraining order against her brother or like her mom, or like why doesn't she sue those people? To be honest, maybe that's not like part of the book, but like whatever. My biggest thing on like literally the last 10 pages of this book, Connell talks about getting into a university for creative writing, and like he talks about how this other girl named Sadie introduced him to it and was like, you should apply for that. And literally Marianne is like, so does that mean you're in love with her? It's like when girls will playfully be very sensitive towards whatever their boyfriend says, and like whenever they mention another girl, the girlfriend will be like, so does that mean you're in love with her? But like Marianne is serious with it, to be honest. If someone like smashed life into her face from like a realist perspective, I feel like she would definitely be much more normal, because she wants to be normal, but she's not like normal-ish. I can't believe I finished this book in 3 days. Well, it was almost 300 pages long, but I literally was in a terrible reading slump and I finished this book. Now, this is a 4-star read, because I was actually expecting to cry, but I never actually did. The best books that I give 5-star, I either cry, I either laugh out loud, or I plan on rereading it. That's my little thing. I was actually planning on finishing all those books I talked about before, but I feel like this is enough for this video, so I'll see you all the next time that I decide to post. And thank you for watching this reading vlog. I might talk about what this book is about when I do my wrap-up sometime before December, because, yeah. Okay. Peace out.
Okay, can somebody explain me what log